Hey everybody, Tuesday evening in the Montana garage. Afternoon, evening, it's sun's going down. I just got home from work. I wanted to come out in the shop and finish up what we were working on the last couple days, which is my son's square body. We had to replace the clutch. And anybody that's done that, it's not a huge deal, but that stuff's kind of heavy. And of course, I don't have like transmission jacks and all the proper tools, but we fought with it, we wrestled it, and nobody died. We didn't get our skulls crushed. It was this close, but didn't happen, and we got it back in there. The shop, we were out here till, I don't know, not super late, but 10 o'clock last night or so, finishing up what we were doing. So we left our mess, which I hate to do, but so the one thing we didn't finish up is we were short on gear oil for the transmission. So I bought another quart on the way home from work today. I'm gonna toss that in there and then see if this thing actually works. I did, before we fill up the fluids, I did make sure the clutch at least released. So I'll have to fill it up, and I'm sure I'll have to adjust the clutch a little bit. But then hopefully this thing will be back on the road. So the other thing I want to talk about is Sobering Restoration's YouTube channel. If you don't know, you should know. Those guys are helping me get that 57 Chevy that I acquired from up there in Canada. They're helping me get it down here to the Montana garage. There's, you know, stuff and things and paperwork and whatnot you got to deal with. And I had most of it kind of handled, but those guys stepped in and they decided they wanted to handle it for me. So that was awesome. They're getting things taken care of. They have the car at their shop right now. And just today they posted a video with the 57. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't even watched it yet. I just got home from work and I saw that they posted it, and I have to get my stuff done out here tonight. And then when I go inside, I'm gonna click on over there and watch that. So make sure you guys do the same thing when you get done watching this video. Head on over to Sobering Restoration. Of course, there'll be a link in this video. And give that a watch. Make sure you hit the like button, leave them a comment, tell them thanks from me for helping out. And then if you haven't subscribed, well, what are you waiting for? Like everybody says, it doesn't cost anything. Hit that little subscribe button while you're over there. Help those guys out. They're super guys. They're helping me out, and they've helped they helped other people out recently. And yeah, community, not competition, right, guys? So let's go help those guys out. So the end of this video, or the rest of this video, we're gonna do a little walk around of the 55 Chevy. I filmed it the other day. People had some questions, so give that a watch. And then, like I said, head on over to Sobering Restorations, give that a watch, and then come back here soon. And we'll have, I got a lot going on. We're gonna get some primer on this thing. I should have a 57 Chevy I can actually drive pretty soon. So there should be some, you know, like some smoke letting out of tires, maybe some burnouts, obviously walk-arounds, and checking out the car a little better. Obviously, I still owe you a walk-around in this thing. And we're also supposed to paint this guy, so no shortage of stuff to do. Let me know what you guys want to see, and yeah, we'll try to make it happen. Nice, sunny, beautiful spring day. Days like this, I wish I actually had a hot rod I could drive. I can drive that one, but I got to do a little bit of work to it, and 57's on its way soon, so be able to drive that bad boy. Anyways, it was supposed to be a little rainy and gloomy today. Looks like the weatherman got that wrong. Go figure. But I'm out in the Montana garage working on the 55 as usual lately. And I spent a little bit of time out here yesterday doing more work on the inside of the car. I'm getting ready now to flip the car up on its side on the rotisserie. And I just thought I'd do a quick video, kind of a walk around, talk about the things that I've done to the car. I've had a few questions in the comments, like about what all has been replaced as far as the sheet metal and what all kind of work I've done to the car. So for the people that are new and the people that have asked, I'm going to do a quick little video just talking about the kind of the body of the car and what we've done. So let's get into it. Firewall, I've kind of smoothished it a little bit, and I didn't go real crazy. I welded in, I don't know, like 40 some odd holes that I didn't need any longer, and just kind of smoothed out some of the really rough stuff. I didn't go super crazy and add like a whole smooth firewall or anything, obviously, as you can see, but I just thought I'd try to make it look a little better, means I had the access to it. So we'll have to see how it looks once she gets all primed and painted. But so that was the firewall. The exterior of the car, I mean, other than stripping it, it's just kind of how it is. I've talked about how the quarter panels are kind of bad. I've done the fuel door delete, which we'll talk about in a little bit, or there's videos on that. But otherwise, the body, the shell or whatnot is stock pretty much. Quite a bit's been done to the inside though. So in here, I've recently just been kind of sanding and cleaning everything up. I'm going to spray this whole thing with epoxy. If you've been watching the other videos, you already know that. But let's do a quick talk about what I have replaced in here. So we got a new floor pan here. This toe board was rusted. You can see it's been replaced to that point. The rest of it's all stock. This little brace here has been replaced on both sides. New floor pan on this side. Toe boards on this side were better, but this is a patch right there, so I'll replace that little piece. This is a 4-speed car, and it's had several different transmissions in it. I assume this hole was giant. So I just patched in the whole hole, and then once I figure out where my shifter is going to come through, I'll put a more reasonably sized hole in there, and that'll be taken care of. Let's see, new rocker on that side. One more new floor pan. In the back, I did a mini tub to it so you can see where the strips have been added to widen the wheel wells. And then, so it's just the stock tub. I cut it and then I moved it over this. It's like 2 3/4 inches. And you can see the scars down here from where that, had to be moved over down there. And then these seat braces have to be taken out and re-arched to fit around the new mini tub. And the seat will have to be modified slightly as well. I don't know much about that yet, but I've heard it's not that big a deal, so hopefully that is true. I guess, like I said briefly, I replaced the rocker on this side, and then there was a rust hole right here as well, so you can kind of see the remnants of my little patch I put right there. All right, now the trunk area. Quite a bit of work back here also. Pretty obvious, this rear, I think it's a 10-inch section. I replaced that, as well as the tail pan and the tail pan brace underneath. These rust out here in the corners, kind of right at this seam is where it was rusted, both sides. And then the tail pan brace wasn't actually that bad on this one, but that stuff's all kind of sandwiched together, so it kind of all needs replaced together. This, you can see my ugly welding scars, but this piece is new. I've talked about this quarter panel before. It's basically garbage, but in back here, I don't know if you can tell how bad that is. It was just all schmoozed with filler. I'll try to pound it out a little bit better if I can, but it's this quarter panel is just going to get the filler treatment again. I'll make it the best I can. That's all I can do right now. Okay, so all that stuff's new. This car had some longer shackles on it at some point, and both right here and right here, those shackles poked up and poked holes in the trunk floor. So that's a new piece there. This is a new piece. I tried to kind of pretend like I was making that little rib there. It looks about not very good, but anyways, it's the trunk. This little piece right here is new. And then this seam here, that's part of the mini tub, moving the tub over. So that on both sides, obviously. And then took the spare tire well out and covered that up. And then this thing, at some point, the shocks on these things mount right to the trunk floor. And when I was in high school, I put air shocks on it, and then you could raise the back up because that was cool back then. It rode like crap, and it didn't take very long, and it totally destroyed the trunk of my car here. So there's, should have brought my light again, but there's a pile of welding back in this little hole here because that was all torn apart. You can see, and then there was a little bit of other damage too, but mostly it was all from the shocks, I think, and just from breaking apart. This piece is new. This is all kind of new and pieced together the best I could do. That was kind of my first attempt at metal work. Sheet metal welding and whatnot was back here in the trunk. I figured that was a good spot to start. So I did this and then the floors, and hopefully I know enough about it now where I can do some other stuff that's a little more important. But yeah, I think that's about it for the trunk area. I guess another thing as part of the trunk, I took this the fuel door out, so I did a few videos of that fuel door delete. So I guess I didn't like the way it looked there, so I put it up here. I think it looks better up there on the shop wall. Anyways, yeah, for whatever reason, I just don't like the way that looks there. I've seen some of these 55s, and to me, it just looks a little better when that's smooth. I know a lot of people do the little thing where you put the fuel door, you make the taillight pop out, and that's kind of cool. But the one kit they make, I've read some bad stuff about, and it's also like, I don't know, $700 or something. And I'm cheap, so and I'm not smart enough. I mean, I probably could figure something out I know other people have made their own little kind of kits to make that door come open. So I like to say I'm not smart enough. I probably could figure it out, but I just didn't want to spend a bunch of time doing something like that. So I went with the fuel door on the inside of the trunk. So I just cut this little hole here, made a little door, and then we'll fill up right through that little hole. People have commented and they're concerned about fumes getting through there, and it may be an issue, and if it becomes an issue, I'll have to figure out a way to handle it, I guess, but hopefully it's not an issue. All right, let's get this thing flipped up on its side and we'll take a peek at the bottom side of the car. So I got her tilted, you know, a little bit. I didn't go all the way crazy. I've had it tilted quite a bit further than this before, but it's kind of fighting me today. You saw in the little time lapse there that I was struggling a little bit. I don't know if I'm just not smart enough, or that's usually the case, or if this rotisserie is just kind of, I don't know, it all kind of binds together when I start getting too high. Like you can see, this is the spot where it rotates, and then this kind of starts to come apart a little bit. That one ain't so bad, it's almost always like that, but then on the back one, you can see how far this has come out of here. And I think, you know, because it's kind of binding down, you can see the main rod there is kind of binding forward, and it just makes everything really stiff, and I really gotta, you know, kind of force on it, and it just, I don't know, I just haven't done it enough, and it makes me nervous kind of cranking on the car when it's this high up in the air. I think maybe I should have I need to readjust and get, you know, this pin in this hole. That would make the whole car, what is that, 6-8 inches higher without getting all this as high. I mean, obviously I have to get the car higher to get it to tilt around and come past the connecting bar. It's all connected, so I don't think, you know, like it could slide out or fall over. But like I said, it just makes me nervous. I got it high enough right now to do what I need to do, which is basically just show you folks what's under here, and then I just wanted to do a quick look-see and make sure there's nothing I missed under here. All right, so from the underneath view, you can see I got it fairly clean under here. It's not perfect by any means, but it was pretty nasty and greasy. A lot of it's been replaced, but the original stuff this car probably had an oil leak for most of its life, apparently, because everything was coated in, you know, a layer of oil and crud and whatnot. So I made some videos of cleaning all that stuff off that I don't know if those ever got in the video. So I will look back and see if I can find a couple of those videos of me scraping and grinding and throw some in here. All right, so see, I struggled a little bit getting it clean, but we got her pretty clean under here. And then I'll just wanted to show you kind of the, you know, all the stuff that's been done. It's the same. We kind of saw it all from the top side. You can see now all these little pieces I had to make, you know, all these patches that we put in, or replace the tail pan brace. You can see my little, I got a little black circle there. That's where I saw a little pinhole. So I came through below and buzzed where I had the pinholes. And so that's the mini tub thing. Over here you can see where I was talking about how the shocks broke this rear part all apart. So that's all been kind of buzzed back together. More of the same on that side. Mini tub over here also. And then we just welded that little gouge up the other day. Let's see what else. All the like I said, I replaced three floor pans, but all the braces were solid. I didn't have to mess with any of the braces. Here's where you can see where I welded some of those holes in. I think these ones right in front of the wheel well here, I welded those holes in on a video, and some guy commented, "Why did you weld your seatbelt holes in?" Because I wasn't smart enough to know that's what they were for. This car never had seatbelts in it before, so I guess that's those were for the seatbelts. If I ever put seatbelts in it, I guess I'll drill some new holes. Let's see what else we got. A little hole on each inner rocker where I had to weld that together. And yeah, just the floor pans again from the front here. So everything, more of these little holes I filled in. Everything is pretty clean and ready to prime. I'm gonna go over everything, kind of check it out. I'm sure there's a little more cleaning I can do to get it actually ready. But the plan for under here is epoxy primer, and then I'll come through and seam seal all the spots where I've welded. Some of them I'll seam seal from above because they'll be buried in carpet and whatnot, but some of them will get seam sealed from down here as well. And then once the SPI epoxy's on, then I'm gonna spray it with Raptor liner. So let me know if you got any good or bad experience with that. I read a lot of good stuff about it, so hopefully that's gonna work good. And yeah, I guess that's the story on the bottom side of the car. All right, so I think that's all I'm going to do with this video. Just wanted to do, like I said, a quick walk around, show you guys what all we've done to the 55. Obviously, we've got a long ways to go, but I'm finally at the point to start putting this thing together instead of taking it apart. I mean, there's literally nothing else I can take apart on this car. I guess there's a couple small things, but really it's about as far apart as they come. Hopefully, weather holds and we can get some primer soon. So stay tuned for that. We're going to spend the rest of today trying to put Trey's transmission and clutch and whatnot back in his square body. So that'll be fun. Thanks for watching.